Rank 1, I3. You are 20 years old, standing in the parking lot of a recruitment center in Pensacola with an envelope in your pocket. The contract is called a SIL Challenge. The Navy promises to give you a chance to be selected. Not a guarantee, a chance. Your last name is Rivera, and that says it all. Third generation on the Florida coast. Your grandfather came from Puerto Rico in '62. Your mother is a nurse. Your father is a shipyard mechanic. You could have gone to the shipyard. Instead, you go to the Great Lakes Recruit Training Center in Illinois, and 8 weeks of basic training are spent turning you into a sailor. You run, you do push-ups, you scrub the galley. The only thing that sets you apart from the 300 other buzz-cut boys is a mark in your personnel file, then Coronado, California. The shore of San Diego Bay, the Navy Special Warfare Center. At the entrance to the base is a sign, "The only easy day was yesterday." 3 weeks of preparatory school, 3 weeks of orientation, and you see the obstacle course, the ocean, and the instructors for the first time. The instructors are a breed apart. They've all been through what you're about to go through, so it's impossible to fool them. They can see who will break on the 3rd day and who will break on the 5th. And they're in no hurry. The first phase is basic training, 7 weeks. 4 miles on the beach for time, obstacle course for time, swimming in the ocean with fins for time. Every week the standards get tougher. You are divided into boat teams, 6 or 7 people, and an inflatable boat that you carry on your heads everywhere. It weighs 45 kilos. Every day someone leaves. The procedure is simple. You approach a pole with a copper ship's bell, ring it 3 times, and place your helmet next to the other helmets. Next to the bell is a table with donuts and hot coffee. The instructors put it there on purpose so that your departure is warm and sweet. The 3rd week is hellish. 5.5 days of continuous work. 4 hours of sleep for the whole week. More than 300 kilometers of running. It starts on Monday night, with blank rounds, smoke bombs, the roar of the instructors, and in this chaos you have to find your team, lift the boat, and run. For 5 days you are wet, dirty, worn down to the bone, and constantly on the move. Running, swimming, mud pits, a 130-kilogram log that 6 of you have to lift. You are fed 4 times a day, as much hot food as you can eat, and half the class falls asleep at the table with a spoon in their hand. Of the 89 people, 31 finish the hellish week. You are among them, not because you are the strongest, just because on Wednesday, around 4 in the morning, standing waist-deep in the Pacific surf, you decide not to go to the bell. Then, 7 weeks of combat diving, 7 weeks of land operations on San Clemente Island, parachute training, 26 weeks of qualification training. When you finish, they pin a badge on you, a golden eagle with an anchor, a pistol, and Neptune's trident. The senior officer hits the badge with his fist, pressing the needle into your chest. You're 22. You're assigned to a platoon, 16 men, and 18 months of pre-deployment training begins. You're the greenest, and everyone around you has a specialty, but you only have the fact that you're here and that you didn't ring the bell. Rank 2, I4. First deployment, Iraq, 2006, Anbar Province. You arrive by transport plane at Al Asad Air Base, step out onto the concrete, and the heat hits your face. 49 degrees Celsius. Your platoon operates from a forward base surrounded by concrete blocks and barbed wire. Night raids. You go out after midnight, work until dawn, debrief the operation, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, and prepare for the next one. Your job is an assault trooper. You enter the building first or second and clear the rooms. Adobe walls, low ceilings, darkness, and in a split second you have to determine who is in front of you. You learn quickly. Not because you're smart, but because the price of a mistake is a zinc coffin. By the end of the deployment, you have more than 60 operations under your belt. I-4 is the 4th rank out of 9 in the Navy's enlisted ranks. It's the first rank where you formally have people under you, although in reality, the only person you give orders to is a rookie who has just arrived as a replacement and looks at you the way you looked at your seniors a year ago. Second deployment, autumn of the same year, Anbar again. Now you're not a rookie. You know what a grenade launcher sounds like and how it differs from a mortar explosion. You know that the main danger when entering is not the one who is shooting, but the one standing behind the door waiting. You know that the hardest part after an operation is the first 10 minutes in the car, when the adrenaline wears off and your hands start to shake. No one talks about that. Rank 3, I-5. You're 25, you've got 2 deployments behind you, and you're starting to specialize. Every operator in the platoon is not just a shooter, but a specialist with a specific skill. Sniper, demolition expert, communications specialist, medic. You choose demolition, special destruction courses, certification to work with explosives. 3rd deployment, Afghanistan, 2008. Gilman Province. It's a different war here. In Iraq, there are cities, houses, streets. Here, there are valleys, mountain trails, villages made of clay and stone. The green zone is a strip of vegetation along the rivers where the Taliban hide their weapons and set booby traps. You learn to walk on trails where every stone could be your last, and it changes the way you walk. Literally, after a month, you walk differently, put your foot down differently, look at your feet differently. The guys from the regular units, Marines, Army soldiers, see how you move and understand. These are different people. And 5, the 5th stage. They start sending you to external courses, Army, interdepartmental. The world of special operations is small. At the courses, you sit next to guys from Delta, from the 24th Special Tactics Squadron of the Air Force, and you realize that there is another level. Everyone knows it exists. No one says it out loud. It is called by different names: the team, the development group, or simply the other side. This refers to Dam Neck, Virginia Beach, the base of the unit that is officially engaged in the development of tactics and equipment for naval special forces. Unofficially, it's the first echelon. People are sent there where no one else is sent. You start thinking about it, not dreaming, calculating. How many deployments you need, what track record, what reputation. The minimum is 5 years in a regular team and 2 deployments. You already have 3. Rank 4, I-6. You're 28, 4 deployments. You submit your report. The procedure begins with a physical test. Pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, a 3-mile run, an 800-meter swim with fins. The results must be significantly higher than the standards for regular teams. Then there is psychological testing. Then there is the commission. You sit in front of a table with 5 senior officers, and they ask questions to which there are no right answers. You pass. You are invited to join the Green Team. 8 months of selection and training. You move to Dam Neck. The base looks like a regular Navy training center. Shooting ranges, barracks, a mess hall. But behind the fence at the far end is a separate world. Its own facilities, its own killing house, a maze-like building for close combat training, its own warehouses, its own budget. In the 1980s, when there were 75 operators, the unit's ammunition budget exceeded that of the entire Marine Corps. Green Team is divided into 3 phases. The first is close combat in the killing house. It's a hangar with rooms, corridors, and staircases inside, and you clear them at a speed you never thought possible. Instructors watch you from the gallery above. Active operators of the unit, people who returned yesterday from places you will never hear the names of. Step into the room on the wrong foot, and you're running 100 meters with a 40-kilogram truck tire. Make a mistake with your weapon and you're running again. At the end of each day, there's a debriefing. Evaluations, violations, every little thing. Most people drop out at this stage. The second stage is field operations. The third is special reconnaissance and interagency work. The dropout rate is about 50%. Of the 20 who started with you, 12 make it to the end. You are among them. After graduation, the squadrons sort the newbies like in a draft. Whoever picked first last year picks last this year. You are taken by Gold, the Golden Squadron. About 50 operators, 3 teams, each with assault teams and snipers. You get I-6, the 6th level, and for the first time, find yourself in a place where everyone around you has gone through the same path. Not a single random person. Rank 5, I-7. First deployment with the unit, Afghanistan, 2010. Now you are part of a machine that works differently. In a regular team, you planned an operation in 2 or 3 days. Here, in hours. Reconnaissance arrives in the evening. You take off at night. The helicopters are modified Blackhawks and Chinooks from the 161st Special Operations Aviation Regiment, whose pilots fly at night at low altitude with their lights off. You get used to the fact that every night there is a new door, a new room, a new person to take or eliminate. The tasks come from the Joint Special Operations Command, sometimes from the White House. You don't think about that. You think about the door, the room, the decisive second, May 2011. You're not in Abbottabad, your Red Squadron is flying there, but you find out before the rest of the world because there are no secrets from your own people at the base. 23 operators entered the building. One man, the #1 target on the planet. The operation lasted 38 minutes. The world will find out in the morning, you will find out at night. It's the only privilege that means anything. 3 months later, in August, a Chinook with the call sign Extortion 17 is shot down in Wardak province. On board are 15 operators from Zoloto, your squadron, 7 crew members, 7 Afghan commandos, a translator, 38 people. All of them die. The largest single loss in the history of the Navy SEALs. You knew each of the 15. Not by name from the list, but by their voices, their gaits, the way they held their weapons. You stand in formation at the funeral, and at that moment, something inside you shifts, but you can't name it and no one asks. E7, the 7th rank, a milestone. Below, operator, above, leader. Now you're the senior in the group, the commander's advisor, the person who decides who goes where and who does what. You're responsible not only for the operation, but for the people. When one of your own doesn't come back, you write the report. Rank 6, I8. You are 34, 13 years in the Navy, 7 deployments. The 8th step, you become the senior non-commissioned officer of the troop. The link between the officers who plan and the operators who execute. You are assigned as an instructor to the Green Team. Now you stand on the gallery of the killing house and watch as 27-year-old operators from ordinary teams try to do what you once tried to do. You can see who will make it and who won't, and most often it's not obvious from their speed or their shooting, but from their eyes. The same look that the instructors were looking for in you at Coronado. The willingness to keep going when your body says enough. You weed out half of them. There are no second chances in an operation. By this time, you know things you won't tell your family or friends. Not because you signed a non-disclosure agreement, although you did, but because there is no language in which to explain it. Your wife knows you're leaving, and she knows that sometimes you come back a different person. She doesn't ask questions. Your son knows that his dad works in the Navy. That's enough. The war has been going on for a decade and a half at this point, and it's starting to smell different. You see reports that you didn't see before. You see how operations that used to take weeks to plan are now approved in hours. You see how, after 15 years of continuous combat, the people around you are changing. Not all of them, not immediately, but enough for you to notice. You remember what the unit was like when you arrived, and you see what it is like now. There is a difference. You're not sure you can name it, but it's there. Rank 7, I9. You are 38. The 9th step is the highest rank for enlisted personnel in the entire Navy. There are only a few of them in the unit. You become the squadron's senior petty officer, the commander's right-hand man, the voice that everyone listens to, from the newest operator to the captain. You are the unit's walking memory. You remember people that the newbies only know from photos on the wall. You serve for 2 more years. 20 years of service is the threshold after which most people leave. You are 40. 9 deployments, 4 combat awards, 2 concussions from blast waves, chronic pain in your knees and back, and ringing in your left ear that will never go away. You could stay. There are positions available at headquarters, in training centers, in interagency structures. You choose to leave. On your last day, you hand in your pass to Damneck. You shake hands with people you've known longer than your own wife. You get in your car and drive home on Route 264 towards Virginia Beach, 15 minutes. You park, walk into the house. Your son runs up to you from the kitchen, and you catch yourself listening to the silence. You don't check the perimeter, scan the windows, or count the exits. Just silence. It sounds unfamiliar. You'll get used to it.